Sometimes life doesn't fall apart all at once. It crumbles quietly, piece by piece, while we're busy holding it together for everyone else. Today, I want to tell you a story of strength, silence, and the long road back to self-worth. If you've ever felt invisible in your own home, this may speak to you. My name is Isabelle, and I live in a small town in the south of England. I'm 42 now. I have two beautiful children, Elliot and Roseanne. I've been married to my husband, Thomas, for nearly 20 years. In the beginning, Thomas was everything I dreamed of: warm, attentive, always smiling. When he looked at me and said, "You're my forever," I believed him. I had no reason not to. We had Elliot 2 years after we married, a bright boy with an adventurous spirit. Then came Rose, 2 years later, a girl with a gentle heart and a voice that loved to sing. Our home was full of laughter, toys, messy breakfasts, bedtime stories, all the things I'd wished for. Thomas worked long hours, and I stayed home to care for the children. I poured my love into every packed lunch, every clean sock, every bedtime hug. But as the years went by, something in Thomas changed. He stopped coming home on time, work trips became frequent, the smile disappeared, and the words I used to hear, "I love you," "How was your day?" vanished too. When I asked what was wrong, he brushed me off. "I work to keep this family going. Don't question me." So I stayed quiet. I told myself it was just a phase. I clung to hope like it was the last candle in a dark room. But 7 years ago, that hope shattered. Thomas left for one of his trips, and I found 2 plane tickets in his jacket. One of them wasn't in his name. It was a woman's. Her name was Charlotte. I felt like the floor had fallen out from under me. For days, I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I simply existed. When he returned, I asked, "Who is she?" He said, "She's no one. Don't be dramatic." But I knew. Still, I stayed. For Elliot, for Rose. They were so young. I thought, if I leave, it will break their hearts. So instead, I broke mine. Years passed. Nothing changed. The other woman stayed in the shadows of our marriage. And I stopped recognizing the man who shared my bed. I became a ghost in my own life, tidying up, smiling for the kids, but empty inside. Then one day, in the most unexpected way, I ran into someone from my past. Andrew, a kind man I once knew at university. I saw him helping his wife into her coat at a cafe. He smiled at her with a softness I hadn't seen in years. That moment broke me, and it healed me all at once. Andrew and I began to talk. Just talk. He asked me how I was, and for the first time in years, someone listened. He said, "You matter. You're enough." His kindness reminded me of who I was before the silence. For 3 months, I felt alive again. I wasn't looking for an affair. I was looking to feel seen, to be valued. But when Thomas found out, he exploded. "Why would you do this to me?" he yelled, and I answered, "Because I felt alone for years." That was the first honest conversation we'd had in over a decade. Soon after, I fell ill. Nothing serious, but serious enough to scare us both. And for the first time in so long, Thomas stayed. He held my hand at the hospital and whispered, "Please don't leave me. I still love you." I wanted to believe him. I truly did. But when someone leaves you in the cold for years, one sentence isn't enough to warm you back up. We talked, really talked. I asked him, "Do you want to fight for this? Or are we just pretending for the kids?" He said, "I want to stay. I want to fix what I broke." I told him, "You can't just try. You have to mean it." He began to change, slowly. He came home on time, helped with dinner, asked me how I was. We went on walks again, like we used to. And in those small things, I saw a flicker of the man I married. But forgiveness doesn't come wrapped in one big moment. It's a daily choice. Some days I could choose it, some days I couldn't. One evening, while eating dinner, I asked Elliot, "Do you think your dad and I are happy?" He looked up, puzzled. "You're nice to each other, but sometimes, Mum, you look tired." And sweet little Rose said, "I just want us to stay together." Their words broke me, not because they hurt, but because they were so full of hope. I knew I had to let go of Andrew. I met him one last time. I thanked him. He said, "You reminded me that gentle hearts still exist." And then I walked away, carrying only the reminder that I mattered. I started to write to myself, letters I keep in my drawer. One of them reads, "Dear Isabelle, you are not invisible. You are brave. You are worthy. You deserve love, not just survival." Some days, I still feel unsure, but I no longer feel small. I read, I walk, I breathe, I smile and know because life is perfect, but because I know now I am enough. If Isabelle's story touched something in you, remember this: you're not alone, and your feelings are valid. Whether you choose to stay or walk away, let it be a choice made in love for yourself first. Subscribe if you want more stories that speak to the quiet parts of the heart.